Vardy. I think Vardy's cool.
He's gone. He's too old.
Speaking of VAR,
Put him in Geelong.
you off air
Yes.
wanted to get on a tangent, and I stopped you. I pulled you up.
Well,
I said,
and the producer.
I said,
Thank God you were here, by the way.
I know, because you would have gone on a massive tangent.
Just doing my job.
I'm here for one reason, boys.
There's one reason why only free Pepsi Max.
Yes.
That's exactly
So
right.
I want you to elaborate
Okay, so this is my theory.
because I cannot disagree with you anymore.
Okay, I know now this is controversial.
Very.
But I've had a long and hard think about this, and you have to understand where the point of view I'm coming from, because the system we have now is dog shit. Okay?
Absolutely dog shit.
The VAR system, the Hawkeye system, I'm talking about all sports here, right? The
Yep.
systems in place now are utter dog shit because...
I don't even know what they do in AFL.
No, well, rugby leagues is fucked.
The bunker.
The bunker's fucked, right? VAR is fucked because, for example, Hawkeye's fucked in the cricket. The problem is there's still a person adjudicating on all of these decisions being made, right?
Yep.
And people are prone to
Human
make
error.
mistakes,
It's
right?
human error.
But I can't understand how in VAR, when you have footage of 700 angles, you can make a mistake.
That's
right?
the biggest part for me.
So, VAR on its day, if perfectly done, is a must. If perfectly done. Is a must.
That's the argument. So
But-
the argument is that VAR isn't a bad idea.
VAR is a perfect system.
It is a perfect system.
Run by imperfect people.
But how it's operating right now, it needs a massive
yes,
rework.
but I don't... Surely...
You've seen the decisions that are not being
I know.
called.
And I don't understand how they're not called.
Yeah.
And this is what infuriates me, because the VAR has picked it up that it's incorrect or correct.
This is the weird one, yeah.
And the human error will come into it,
Yeah.
which you're like, oh, surely it can't happen again. Yet it does every fucking week in
Yep.
every sport around the world. The human error takes over. Every member in the crowd will go, they'll boo when they see the footage, right? And they've only got one angle.
Yeah, and then the guy
And the
upstairs
guy
going,
can
hold
go,
on a second.
And the guy can go, oh, they'll go, yeah, this is good. This is fine. He's put the ball down, or he's not offside, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the guy after 700 angles fucks it up.
Yep.
This is the error. This is the issue. Not,
Well, I
VAR
think-
is not the issue.
well,
human error is the issue.
Is it a case of overanalyzing sometimes? Maybe because if you slow down stuff... So, for example, let's take it in
Nothing
football.
should ever be viewed in slow motion.
Yeah,
first
if you
of
slow
all,
down
ever.
something to its slowest motion,
Should never be
for
viewed.
example, a tackle or a challenge, it's
Or a
going to look
try,
worse than what it is.
or an offside.
Yeah, you need to play it in full speed.
Well, games are not played. Andrew John says this all the time.
Yeah,
Games are
aren't.
not played in slow motion.
Yep.
Nothing should be viewed in slow motion.
Yeah, you're dead right.
Like, if a head high potentially,
Yeah.
or but to watch something in slow motion, first away takes away the integrity of what's happening around the game. So if someone's in full flight, you watching them in slow motion, of course you're going to pick up an error. You will pick up an error in every single play on every single game around the world in every sport.
That's what I mean.
They should be watching it in full speed.
in their effort to make things perfect and in their effort to make everything fair,
Sport's not perfect. That's why it's amazing.
they're making it the complete opposite.
Exactly, they're making
You know
it
what I mean?
unfair.
Yeah,
got
because
that.
you're condensing stuff down so to the finite spot
Yeah.
that you're going to go, okay, well, that's offside, for example, or
But it
that's
shouldn't be.
not. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be.
And it should never be like that.
And I completely agree with you, but I think that's why VAR could be used as the perfect tool if it was done right, but not
Absolutely.
in slow motion. Not in. I know it's hard for me to explain what I want.
No, I know what you mean. Because years ago, like watching football, before all this shit happened, like it used to be benefit to the attacker.
Yes.
So if you were
But then
if you were
every
that
sport has
armpit
that.
in front, right,
Yes.
you wouldn't be offside because the benefit always went to the attacker. But now, because they're condensing it so much,
It's making
they're
it
looking
unfair.
for. So now, if you are a shoulder in front,
Yeah.
you're offside.
See, and
or if you're a fucking toenail in front,
that is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Because when you look at, there was a Bruno. It might have been Bruno Guimaraes. He had an assist from Miguel Almiron, right? And he was leaning, and he was deemed offside. His feet were behind the last defender.
Yeah.
But he leant in front of him.
yeah. So
That is
right
not
now-
offside.
So what they're deeming it now, this is what they've come out with the rule. So a handball is from hand to shoulder, right?
Yes.
So-
Unless they're tucked.
Right. So your armpit, you can score with your armpit.
Yeah.
Right. So if that's in front and your legs are still behind, you're offside.
See, that's ridiculous.
I know, but see,
This
Arsene
is where
Wenger.
we're going down the world of being fucking stupid.
Well, see, here's the devil's advocate, right? So Arsene Wenger proposed if the feet are behind, you're onside,
That's what I
right?
always thought.
That's what he's proposing in FIFA. But the problem then becomes: have you seen some of the footage where people's feet are so far behind, but then they are literally like
Leaning.
leaning?
Michael Jackson.
They're like, You know, they're like that.
Like, do you know Michael Jackson? I'm going to go off tangent really quickly. Do you know how Michael Jackson used to do that lean thing? I always thought he was doing it with his core muscles. No. He had fucking stocks in the floor that his shoes would attach to that would allow him to.
I was going to say nothing's real, mate.
I was for decades. I thought Michael Jackson's core strength was immaculate.
Mate,
it's
when
his
I was
feet attached to the ground.
When I was a young fella, I used to watch David Blaine on Fox 8. I used to think that guy was legit.
He used to do that one heel lift off the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
And then,
The camera would change and it'd be a different sense of people. Yeah.
and then the foot, like, it's nighttime. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
You
come on,
fool.
mate. But
He's
when
no
I,
Chris Angel mind freak though.
that's Chris Angel was.
Sorry, mate. I went off tangent.
He's another fake. But
Yeah, the VAR.
but gee, he made me believe.
Oh, didn't he ever? He's like Jesus.
VAR doesn't make me believe though. It doesn't make me believe. It
It's
needs a
It's
rework.
done perfectly. It's a perfect system.
It needs a rework. But
Because the system right now is shit house.
I don't know where we go from there. I really do not know.
When we get AI
AI.
Well, yeah.
to work
Asking
it
like
out
Yeah,
for
but
us.
said-
Get musky.
Yeah, but then if we get AI, where do we go from there? If somebody falls down, is it like
Pointless.
automatically fucking a
No,
foul?
because the thing with AI, right, and this is where my argument falls on its sword, okay, is the thing with AI is AI will only go to the specific rule set. You can't have that human feel. Like, for example, there's some refs around the world in different sports who will, the game feels a bit, they feel the game. These are the best refs, right? The best refs in the world will feel how the game's going. They might allow people to encroach a meter. They might allow people to rush the line a bit. They might not call a penalty on something that potentially could have been a penalty, right?
Yeah.
Those refs are the best refs in the world. This is where my argument I'm being hypocritical, right?
Yeah, AI would just
But AI
take
would
everything
blow the
as
penalty every single
Exactly,
time.
and so that's where-
but
As
if
verbatim,
The
yeah.
problem with the VAR,
Yeah,
right,
'cause
is
you make
that
rules
the
and it's
ref
like,
has
we're gonna stick
allowed
to
it to
this rule.
happen, and the game is flowing perfectly. Then the tries scored or the goal scored, and they go back. Let's check something that happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's where the problem with VAR is, because it's taking over a ref's feel of the game. So for VAR to work, they just have to watch the immediate result of what's happened, not something that's happened 5 minutes
Yeah,
before. or
because I don't feel
2
like that
minutes before.
impacts. That's like saying, because then you could say, oh, well, because I didn't make this challenge or I didn't make this challenge, that's
Exactly.
what's led to the goal. When,
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it gets sticky, but no, I need
It's a
to
tough one.
It needs
Well,
a